The OnePlus 13R, Xiaomi, Poco X7 Pro, Nothing Phone, 3A, Xiaomi 14T, and Google Pixel 9a are the most popular mid-range phones of 2025, but which is the absolute best? We are going to compare them to each other and score them in various categories, with some categories holding more weight than others. In the end, we'll decide which is the best one based on the final score, and we will declare the absolute winner. Let's dive in. First, we are going to compare them on the camera quality category, which has a multiplier of 2x. The OnePlus 13R brings a versatile setup with its new 50-megapixel 2x optical zoom telephoto lens that I found great for portraits. But the main camera's shots felt a little less vibrant compared to others, and the 8-megapixel ultra-wide camera is noticeably softer on details, which holds it back for me, so it gets an 8.0 out of 10. I found the Xiaomi Poco X7 Pro to be a solid choice for video creators on a budget, delivering impressive 4K video from its main camera with fantastic electronic stabilization. But its photos suffer as the 2x zoom is just a digital crop, and the ultra-wide camera produced some soft and reddish images in low light, earning it a 7.2 out of 10. With the Nothing Phone 3A, you're getting a camera that I feel is perfectly adequate for your social media posts with decent colors and good lighting. However, it visibly struggles when compared to the specialized hardware on the other phones here, especially in challenging low-light scenes, which is why I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10. The Xiaomi 14T really impressed me with its natural color rendering and high level of detail in bright daylight photos, but my experience was hampered by its unstable exposure in tricky lighting and significant noise in low-light videos, making it a powerful but sometimes unreliable option that scores an 8.5 out of 10. Finally, the Google Pixel 9a delivers that classic pixel magic, giving me incredibly consistent and sharp photos with fantastic dynamic range in almost any condition thanks to its computational photography. And while it might not have the most megapixels or lenses, its point-and-shoot reliability is unmatched in this group, making it a clear winner at 9.3 out of 10. For pure point-and-shoot excellence and consistency, the Google Pixel 9a takes the win with 9.3 points due to its outstanding software processing that delivers reliable results every time. Next, we're going to compare them on the battery life category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. The OnePlus 13R comes with a massive 6,000 milliampere-hour battery that I found can easily stretch into a second day of use. Though it's a shame the charging speed was reduced to 80 watts, and it's missing wireless charging entirely, which feels like a step back. After all my testing, I give it a 9.3 out of 10. I was really impressed with the Xiaomi Poco X7 Pro's huge 6,000 milliampere-hour battery, which gave me almost 20 hours of straight web surfing and charges up incredibly fast, in about 40 minutes with its 90-watt brick. But I noticed its active use time can sometimes feel a bit average, and not quite as long as you'd hope for from that giant capacity. This one gets a 9.0 out of 10. With the Nothing Phone 3A, its 5,000 milliampere-hour battery reliably got me through a full day with around 8 hours of screen time here. However, the endurance felt like a small downgrade from its predecessor, and the charging takes over an hour, which is respectable, but not exactly fast. I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10. The Xiaomi 14T was a very mixed bag for me because while its 5,000 milliampere-hour battery can survive for more than 2 days if you're a light user, I saw it had really poor efficiency and would drain surprisingly fast when I was on the go, which is a big letdown despite its quick 46-minute recharge time. For that, it earns a 6.8 out of 10. Finally, the Google Pixel 9a packs the biggest battery we've ever seen in a Pixel at 5,000 milliampere hours, providing solid all-day performance with great screen time when I was just browsing the web. But it was a real letdown to see that the battery life during gaming hasn't improved at all compared to last year's model. It gets an 8.2 out of 10. The OnePlus 13R takes the win here with a score of 9.3 out of 10 because its massive 6,000 milliampere-hour battery simply delivers the best real-world longevity of the group, easily lasting 2 full days on a single charge. Next, we're going to compare them on the performance and speed category, which has a multiplier of 2x. The OnePlus 13R felt incredibly responsive in daily use, loading apps and games with flagship-level speed, though I noticed it could get a little warm during extended benchmark tests, earning it an 8.8 out of 10. When I tested the Xiaomi Poco X7 Pro, its raw power was undeniable, offering a huge advantage with a graphics processing unit that is miles ahead of every other phone in this class, making it a true gaming champion, even if the software experience feels less polished. So I'm giving it a 9.3 out of 10. The Nothing Phone 3A provides a very smooth and optimized experience for its price, thanks to its modern Snapdragon 7's Gen 3 chip, but it is clear that it prioritizes efficiency over the raw processing power you see in the Poco, which is why it gets a 7.4 out of 10. I found the Xiaomi 14T to be a very capable performer that gets impressively close to flagship killer territory, though its processor performance under heavy stress only showed 66% stability, which keeps it just behind the top contender with a score of 8.5 out of 10. Finally, The Google Pixel 9a delivered a surprisingly fantastic gaming experience with incredibly stable frame rates and demanding titles. And while its processor is technically a bit slower than some rivals, the excellent heat management from its vapor chamber helps it punch above its weight, earning a solid 8.1 out of 10. The Poco X7 Pro takes the win here with 9.3 points because its graphics performance is light years ahead of the competition in its price range. Next, we're going to compare them on the display quality category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. The OnePlus 13R packs a massive and gorgeous 6.78-inch LTPO screen that gets incredibly bright with a peak of 4,500 nits, making it fantastic for outdoor use. But its lower IP65 water resistance rating is a bit worrying, and I have seen some early user reports of screen burn-in, so I'm giving it an 8.6 out of 10. Rocking a beautifully sharp 1.5K resolution on its 6.67-inch AMOLED panel, the Xiaomi Poco X7 Pro truly impressed me with its vivid HDR performance and an almost unbelievable IP69 dust and water resistance rating for this segment. And while its adaptive refresh rate does not dip as low as some rivals to conserve power, its overall value is undeniable, earning it a 9.3 out of 10. The Nothing Phone 3a certainly stands out with its perfectly symmetrical bezels and offers a very comfortable viewing experience due to a high 2160Hz PWM dimming frequency that reduces eye strain. But with a peak brightness of just 1300 nits, it feels noticeably dimmer outdoors compared to the others, and its screen seems to scratch more easily, landing at a 7.8 out of 10. With an incredibly fluid 144Hz refresh rate and an absolutely blinding peak brightness for HDR content that can reach over 4600 candelas per square meter, the Xiaomi 14T is a specifications monster, but it is seriously let down by its use of outdated Gorilla Glass 5 for protection and a low-frequency screen flicker that my sensitive eyes could definitely notice, which is why it gets a 9.0 out of 10. Finally, the Google Pixel 9a renders very faithful and natural colors that look great when viewing photos. However, it is bafflingly protected by ancient Gorilla Glass 3 from over a decade ago and suffers from poor brightness uniformity across the panel, which I could clearly see in the corners, making its display a real letdown that earns a 7.2 out of 10. So while the Xiaomi 14T was a beast on paper, the Xiaomi Poco X7 Pro takes the win here with 9.3 points, delivering a fantastic all-around package with a sharp screen and durability that is simply unmatched at this price point. Finally, we are going to compare them on the value for money category, which has a multiplier of 3. The OnePlus 13R truly embodies the flagship killer spirit by packing a powerful Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor and a massive battery that easily lasts me 2 days, though its surprising lack of wireless charging feels like a significant omission in 2025, landing it at an 8.5 out of 10. I found the Xiaomi Poco X7 Pro to be an absolute gaming champion for the price, with its top-tier performance and vibrant screen, but the experience is held back by pre-installed bloatware and disappointingly thin-sounding speakers, which is why I'm giving it an 8.8 out of 10. Nothing's Phone 3a brings a uniquely stylish design and a surprisingly capable camera system that punches above its weight, however. Its inconsistent 5G network support in the United States is a major drawback for what is otherwise a compelling package, earning it an 8.2 out of 10. The Xiaomi 14T delivers a near flagship experience with its premium technology at a significantly lower cost, feeling like a more polished and well-rounded device than the Poco, and although it has a few minor flaws, it presents an incredible overall package for a 9.2 out of 10. Finally, the Google Pixel 9a sets the standard for what a mid-range phone should be by offering features like wireless charging and an IP68 water resistance rating, all backed by an unmatched 7 years of software updates, making it feel far more premium than its price suggests, and scoring a 9.5 out of 10. With its unbeatable 7 years of software support and the inclusion of premium features like wireless charging at a mid-range price point, the Google Pixel 9a secures the win with an outstanding 9.5 out of 10. The results of our comparison show that each product shines in its own way, but the Xiaomi 14T stands out with its score of 88.3. Having spent extensive time with it, I'm impressed by how it delivers a near flagship experience without breaking the bank. Its combination of outstanding camera quality, capable performance, and excellent value makes it a top choice for those seeking premium features at a mid-range cost. Despite a few minor setbacks, its overall polish and unmatched perks elevate it above the competition in this price bracket. As for the other contenders, they each bring unique strengths to the table. The Xiaomi Poco X7 Pro offers exceptional performance and value, perfect for gaming enthusiasts who crave power-packed features, while the Google Pixel 9a delivers its renowned photography prowess and long-term software support, creating peace of mind for consistent updates. The OnePlus 13R is a remarkable all-rounder, particularly loved for its massive battery life, while the Nothing Phone 3a entices with its unique design and competent camera system. Each of these phones holds its own appeal, ensuring there's a perfect fit for a variety of preferences and needs within the mid-range market.